What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up. And I want to talk about something tonight because a lot of people has been hitting me about this. Like, yo, Tuck, we love the draft content. Definitely give us a like, follow, and subscribe if you're missing out, right? But we want to know, what is your thoughts on this Mike McCarthy calling the plays situation? How do you really feel? And honestly, I'm cool with it. Like, I feel like this is the opportunity that Mike McCarthy has deserved, right? If you bring in a guy who's won a Super Bowl, who's an offensive-minded head coach, who's been around some of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, I want to get the full capability and not cut him off at the knees. And I feel like letting him call the plays and run his offense is the only way to see what we truly have in Mike McCarthy. But y'all know how Cowboys fans get. A Charger fan posts a pretty little flyer with Kellen Moore's stats, and you hear a few people on the radio station talk about Kellen Moore and how that's going to impact the team, and they start to panic, start to freak out, start to get nervous a little bit, right? But what I want to do is kind of explain what is Mike McCarthy's West Coast philosophy for a lot of people who truly do not understand it, and how I think it's going to benefit our Dallas Cowboys offense. So, when it comes to the West Coast offense, it's something that started with Bill Walsh way back with the San Francisco 49ers. And, we really don't want to talk too highly of the 49ers, right? But the offense is characterized by short horizontal passing routes in lieu of running plays to stretch out defenses, open up the potential for long runs or long passes. It was popularized by Walsh, who was the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. So it's a horizontal passing game. Now, there are different variants of the West Coast offense, which I'm sure a lot of football minds know. It's the Air Coryell, it's the Gulf Coast. There's so many different wrinkles to it, but it really stems to plays at the line of scrimmage. So crossing routes, different mesh concepts. You want to get players out in space and let them create. So it's more about ball control passes, but you have to have rhythm and timing. And I feel like for the most part, for my wide receivers and Dak Prescott, there's a lot of rhythm and timing. It's just with the option routes, there was often situations where they just wasn't in sync, right? But I feel like Dak is a rhythm quarterback. But the most important thing, and we'll explain that here in a few slides, is that it's a pure progression offense, right? 1, 2, 3, check down. 1, 2, check down. 1, 2, 3, check down. Like, it's really simplified. And I feel like when it comes to Dak Prescott, typically, when there's pressure, he gets caught up in his reads and he might not get fully through his progressions, and that's when all sorts of bad things happen, right? So I feel like to simplify that is really going to help out Dak, and especially this offense, and limit some of those turnovers that we saw this past season. But when it comes to Mike McCarthy, his West Coast wrinkle is the Gulf Coast approach. So he has like a backside option, and we'll show that here in the visual. So he kind of remixed it a little bit, right? But it's based off a concept. So like a flood concept or a mesh concept. And let me know if you guys do not understand what those concepts are. I know not a lot of people who watch channels like these, they get too deep into football or play Madden, different things like that. So if y'all want to kind of break down some of those concepts, let me know, comment below. I'll be more than happy to do that for you. But it simplifies because you're just running concepts, right? So you're gonna run this flood concept, right? To really get out in space and create, and you're really dictating what you're doing. You're not letting the defense dictate. Now, in the digit system, that was kind of Air Coryell, also kind of Jason Garrett, what he ran, right? You can base it off different shells, right? So if they're running too high, you might run different things, different digits, right? So what we're seeing right now across the NFL, and the Chiefs are the notorious team. So people got to understand, I've been hearing all the rumors that Mike McCarthy's going to bring his same stale offense that fizzled out in Green Bay, and it's not going to work. Did Andy Reid bring his same offense philosophy and the same old playbook from Philadelphia to Kansas City? No. He brought his main blueprint, but then he added people like Eric Bieniemy to kind of remix it and update it. And I feel like Mike McCarthy's going to do the same exact thing when it comes to his offense. So you might see a little bit of a hybrid where you're seeing a little bit of Air Coryell, little digit offerings, different things that the wide receivers are doing, especially when you have the quarterback who is really cerebral when it comes to Dak Prescott. But the main approach to it is you really want to stretch the defense out, force them to overcommit, and then it's going to open up deep shots. Then it's going to open up your run game. And It's a triangle read concept for easier reads, and I'll show that here once again. But what you have to understand is Mike McCarthy and a lot of these West Coast offensive style coaches, like they like running backs that can catch out of the backfield and make things happen, because there's going to be a lot of opportunity for check down plays. And we know Tony Pollard kind of fits that bill. So it's going to be interesting to see what do the Cowboys do when it comes to TP. But if you like a running back that can get out in space, kind of work as your hybrid running back / wide receiver, you definitely have that in Tony Pollard, but it's not going to come at a cheap price. So let's go ahead and get into a few slides that I pulled up here for you guys to take a look at. So the very first one, this is Kansas City, right? So represent the yellow lines, right? You have one read, which is the out route. That's probably the tight end. It's probably Travis Kelce right there. Then you have the 9 route on the outside, and then you have a check down. But the wrinkle that you have is also the backside slant as well. And you'll also see that in Mike McCarthy's offense as well, where there's a backside approach. So if those 3 routes get pretty much jammed up, well, then you have that backside slant. So it's just a new wrinkle to the philosophy, but it's pretty much 1, 2, 3, check down, 1, 2, check down. So 3-step drops, 5-step drops to get the ball out of Dak Prescott's hands quickly. And you really want to just move the chains. So this is why when I'm dropping these draft videos and I'm talking about these players like Josh Downs, definitely check out that video if you haven't. It's listed right there above, right? Players that can run shallow crosses, deep crosses, get them caught with the ball in their hands and be able to maneuver out in space, because that is the type of offense approach this West Coast is really going to entail. Let's look at another play here real quickly. It's kind of a quick example, right? So boom, you have 2 curls, right? You know, and we thought we're getting rid of curl routes with Kellen Moore, we're curling more, right? But curl, check down, but you also have a backside slant as well. So these are the things you're going to see in our offense, and we'll definitely get into some film as the season progresses. And I might even dig up some old Green Bay film, but I didn't want to do that because I feel like Mike McCarthy is going to add new wrinkles. And where Schottenheimer really comes into play is I feel like he's going to be your quote-unquote run game designer, right? He's going to be your run game coordinator, get your scheme and your philosophies for the run game really intact, and then you're going to add this wrinkle of Mike McCarthy's West Coast offense. Also, a lot of West Coast teams, they like fullbacks, they like split backs, they like 2 running back sets as well. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity as we're going to the draft content to look at these different things. But I really want to get you guys thinking of what is the philosophy, but most important, what type of players actually fit. So when we're doing draft content and doing mock draft Fridays and all, don't just start tossing out players, right? We want to toss out players that actually fit what the new philosophy will be in Dallas. And like I said, I'm excited to see what Mike McCarthy has to do. This is really going to be a evaluation for him, but also for Dak Prescott, and we'll see what happens, man. But it's your boy J Tuck. Comment, like, subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you do not miss out on all the great content. We got draft videos, we got film sessions, we got concepts, we got all sorts of things, live shows, guests. Do not miss out by not hitting one little free button, man. Also, CFOsportstalk.com, listed below. Get your merch. We're drippy. We're drippy, man. CFO gang, man. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. And Mike McCarthy, it's on you now. It's your show. Do it. Peace.